Hello and welcome to Ticket to Life. This is Henrie, and I am so glad that you are here. I hope that your past summer has been awesome. I hope you've made some great memories, and I hope that you listened to Ticket to Life last week because it was really, really good. It was Body Balance Nutrition with Jennifer Edwards, and she gave tips on how to eat right, how things that I honestly, you think, okay, you're 67, you should know these things. No, I didn't. Gave some great tips. So if you didn't hear that podcast, please make an effort to go listen to it. She was really good. I like it when I have guests because I technically make it their show. They just go with it, like Phil, mental warrior, and Jill about ADHD and dyslexia, or maybe not, but people are more comfortable when they know a topic and they know what they're talking about. So it's really nice to have that for someone. Now, today we're going to be talking about date nights, but we'll get to that in a little bit because the importance of it. A lot of people that I know, and I'm sure you do on social media, and they talk about date night. Well, when you're retired, every day is date night because it's just you two. Let's have a date night at the dining room table. Let's go to the breakfast table. Let's go outside. You can have date night anytime. For my husband and I, we really don't eat out a lot or go. I really don't. I'm going to have a complaint after this podcast. We don't really do a whole lot. We do, but we don't. But anyway, we are just, it's something that I posted on my personal social Facebook page, and it was it's a picture of us, and it's a good. I should post it on Instagram. I will post it on Instagram, or it already be posted on there. I don't know, but anyway, and on there I wrote something like, "In a relationship, you should like the one you're with." But luckily, we have been blessed, and we like each other and love each other, and there is a difference. But I do thank God for that, because some people just don't do that. I mean, they just don't like each other, but they can love each other. But some people like each other and can't love each other. And it is a difference, and it's interesting because it just is funny. Some people are like, okay, wacko, I don't know what you're talking about. But it is true. And it is important, again, to have a relationship in your marriage, other than saying, oh, we're married and we go about our business. I always feel like you have to go back as to what made you fall in love with that person. That's why it's so important to have a date night. And some people go, well, we can't afford to go out. Well, guess what? You can have a date night at home. And if you have children, you can have a date night once they're in bed. It is just so important to have that. But of course, if you've heard my podcast in the past, one of the main things I think is so stinking important in any relationship is not just a date night. It is communication. Communication is so important to have. Now, I will tell you, when my husband and I first got married, we had planned everything. We planned, not the marriage, not the wedding, but we planned when we would have children. We're going to give ourselves a year to make sure we liked each other and continued to like each other. And I know that's crazy, but we did. And then after a year, we decided, guess what? We do like each other. Let's try and make a baby. That's just, it was probably more me. So we did. And then we had another one, and we planned, the babies need to be 2.5 years apart. It's all about communication, right? And so that was our plan, So having planned that was great because I was blessed with a son and a daughter, and that's what we planned. Of course, we didn't think about them both being in college together for a year. It's like, we didn't think about this, but it is important to have such a good communication before you say I do, or before you move in, or before you decide this is it. It is so stinking important to have communication. We all want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to be loved by my family. I want to be loved by my husband. I want to be loved by my siblings. I want to be loved by friends. But sometimes some people just don't love you. They just don't. Sometimes people just like you. And that's okay too. Again, there is a difference between liking and loving. And fortunately, again, we do like each other, and I am so thankful for that. So let's get back to date. Oh, before we continue, let Henrie say her little disclaimer. I'm not a love guru. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a life coach. I am Henrie, and these are just my opinions, and you can take them at your own risk. But don't say I didn't warn you. No. But anyway, it's so important to have these date nights. And again, you can still have them even though you have kids. I don't care if it's just making a little charcuterie board. I don't care if it's getting sliced cheese and having a glass of wine or a soda or whatever. You have to make sure, if you want this relationship of yours to work, it is important to make time. Remember, this is what my mom used to tell me. Once the kids are grown, you will be back to just you two again. So you have to make a special effort in your relationship for you two. I don't care if it's 30 minutes a night, because sometimes that's all you need is 30 minutes a night. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. But anyway, probably less. But anyway, it is so, again, date nights can offer time to talk. And it could be about, yes, more than likely the kids. And you can say, oh, we don't have anything else but to talk about the kids. But you do. You talk about your feelings and your thoughts. You can talk about what went wrong with your job that day, or what happened. It is so important to have that strong foundation of just you two. And so many people, June weddings. We had a wedding at our house this past June, and it's just that you just need to remember when you say I do, it's I do, not I do, I don't, I'm done. Yes, I do have a podcast that's named that, but anyway, but it is so important to build that foundation at any age. I don't care if you've been married before or if you're divorced. Don't treat that relationship like your past relationship. Don't compare them, because they are two different types of relationships. And honestly, date nights or date time, whenever you can get together, it's a time to honestly try to reduce stress. Taking time to do that for yourselves. Now, some ladies, just like me, and some men like to dress up. Very seldom do I dress up, but so it's okay. And if your husband wants to go in camouflage shorts and black t-shirt and you want to wear a dress, well, then so be it. You'll stand out, ladies. But it's just important to make sure you do this. Now, someone told me that when you do have a date night, you shouldn't be posting it everywhere. Now, I'm not sure why. I think it's, and I take that back. I do understand why. That is a personal thing. Everyone does not need to know that you're going out. I think sometimes I've mentioned this in the past also, that we post so much on Facebook of the positive, and we all have negative going on. But we want everyone to think, oh, this is the best life we have. I do that, but I'm very happy with my life. Sad things happen, but who wants to read that? I mean, when you lose someone, yes, if you share that, I understand. But it is, and it is a private thing. Then you can tell people about it. I mean, I do like to take pictures with my husband and myself. I do want our kids to have some fun pictures of us when we decide, or not us, I don't think it's going to be up to us, to go and be with the Lord. I don't think that will be up to us. That's his decision. But again, it kind of helps you reconnect. And that is so important, to reconnect. And unfortunately, some people don't do it enough. So when they go out, they'll come back and argue. They're arguing, well, we shouldn't have gone. We spent all this money. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just do something. And if you don't have a patio or a porch, I'm sure there is one nice place you can be in your house just to sit and relax and have that glass of wine or a beer or whatever. Just to chat. But and this takes two. It's not just always one person saying, let's go out. Women always make the effort, I feel. Men need to be told. Now, no nasty letters, gentlemen, but a lot of times I always used to tell my daughter when she was dating someone and she'd be saying something like, oh, he didn't do this or something. And I said, he doesn't need to work for the prize. He already has the prize. He's got you. And that's sometimes how I feel like with some relationships, men just kind of like, okay, I'm done. I got the prize. I don't need to take her out anymore. Now, of course, this could go both ways. So if you want to bash me in an email, you can. Or if you want to bash me on description, you can reach out to me. It says, text me a message. Can't wait to hear from you. So, but if you want to say, yes, I agree. Men don't make that effort. That's okay. This is not a man bashing podcast, but it's just a reminder. Make that effort, guys. Women need that. I need that. But again, it helps you reconnect and don't argue. I have seen people out. And obviously they're out on a date night because it starts off where they're laughing and taking piff selfies. And they either wind up on those stinking phones at the table and no one's talking. And that's the other thing. You need to make some rules when you go out. You need to say, you know what? Our phones are not going to be on the table. If the sitter needs to call, we can answer it then. Don't pick up the phone because, it's a telemarketer. Let me see. It might be important. No, do not pick up your phones. I have a story to share with you about cell phones before we leave today. But anyway, again, appreciate each other and appreciate the company. If you're thinking, well, we don't have a lot to talk about other than the kids. You know what? Find something to talk about. Because before you started your family, you had plenty to talk about. Now, I guess I better rate this podcast, but now the other thing is by going out on date night, I'm not going to lie, it could be really good for your intimate life together, boost your intimacy to the levels you forgot about. Who doesn't want that? I mean, come on, date nights can create that emotional feeling that you had when you first started dating. Don't you remember that? You got that tingle in your stomach, or if they called, you got all giddy. And man, that's you too. I know you got giddy when your wife or girlfriend called you. It's good. Intimacy can be fun and make it fun. It can be meaningful. I mean, start remembering about things you did before you were married for 10 years and you had 3 kids. Trust me, it's good for you. It is so good for you. And never stop holding hands. Never stop kissing in public. Never stop putting your arms around each other. That is, physical contact is so good. It's just so good. It makes you feel good and usually makes the other feel good. So this is my thing. I think it's just a time for you to reconnect, get that communication. And if you're newlywed, start that communication now. Do it now. Start being open. And I don't mean when you get upset, get nasty and say nasty things or hurtful things. And don't bring up the past, which some of us are pretty good at, because it's the past. There's nothing you can do about it. We need to move on. I've got all these podcasts, but anyway, my husband and I had been, I'm going to say, 7 years ago, we found out my husband has a son. from someone else, and he didn't know about it. And we did it through the oh Jesus, what's it called? Sorry, Jesus, you have nothing to do with this. Oh gosh. Well, anyway, oh gosh, my mind. Ancestry. I'm sorry. I just don't want to go back in editing. So it was ancestry.com. We had done all that. And yes, there's a podcast about that. DNA, I've got a match. And we found out he has a son. So we have a son. I have a stepson. And I could have gotten mad at that, but I didn't. It wasn't his fault. And my husband didn't know about it. And my stepson was the one who missed out because he didn't get to have his dad in his life. But anyway, they talk, and believe it or not, guess what? He's a police officer too. So my husband's a police officer, my son's a police officer. Well, my husband's retired, and my stepson's a police officer. I'm surrounded by law enforcement. I feel so secure. But anyway, so you cannot get mad about things that are in the past. You can't bring them up because guess what? It's in the past. It will ruin your evening. It will ruin your relationship if you're always living in the past. So this is the important thing about date nights. You need to have rules. Do not bring up bad things. Do not bring up sad things. Think about where you were when you started dating. What attracted you? Yes, maybe put on a few pounds. Okay, maybe not taking care of yourself as much as you did because you got the prize. But it's okay. You are still together. You're still loving each other. And the important thing is that these nights, I don't care if it's during the day for lunch or whatever, are so important for you. It strengthens your relationship. It will reconnect you as a couple. It will help you focus on why you're together. It will reinforce what you feel for each other. Who doesn't want that? It will help boost intimacy. I'm just throwing that out there again. It does reduce stress too, that you're able to chat with each other about anything, about the family, about work, and hopefully you can talk about other things. Just don't talk about politics. My husband and I, our communication on Sunday, this past Sunday, was all about God. I mean, we just had the best day just talking about God and where we are, and it's pretty cool when you get to that part in your life. But back to where I was saying. Again, let me go back to boosting intimacy. If you have not had any satisfaction sexually in a while, communication about intimacy can actually be great for your date night. It will help encourage how you're feeling about each other and how what you once felt about each other. It's just good for you. Sometimes it can even become something that you have missed and didn't realize you missed. So anyway, that's just a little bit of my advice on date night. I think it's important to have that time for you and your significant other. It just is. Go someplace new. Don't go to the same old place unless you just have this one romantic place you like to go to or whatever. And if you want, and if you can afford it, go someplace fancy if you want, someplace expensive if you want to spend a couple $100 to go and eat. Me, I don't like to spend a couple $100 to go and eat. My husband's a great cook, so that's honestly why we eat a lot from here. We don't go out a lot to eat. But again, just help yourself if you are missing out on that relationship of rekindling your romance. Increase your communication. It's going to bring some energy into your life. When we had our son, the first year of his life, his mommy did not leave the house. I just could not. I just like, oh no, I can't leave him. I can't find a sitter. Nobody's going. So the phone rings and This is when we all had landlines and no cell phones. Anyway, and my mom calls and says, "Oh, you're going out this weekend. I've already talked to Jeff. I'm coming over to take care of my grandson, and you're going out. You have to do this." Now, this is in the 80s. That's how wise. She was just so wise. And I was freaked out. I'm not going to lie, because, of course, you didn't have cell phones. So you had to have your quarter for a payphone. Some of you probably don't even know what a payphone is, but anyway, and you, I had to call home. How's he doing? Is he okay? And she's like, "He's fine. Go have fun." I mean, I know she who knows? She probably saved my marriage. She probably did. Who knows where I'd be? Well, apparently we had another child, so we were doing fine. But anyway, but it is important. And again, if you don't want to spend the money or don't have the money, just find something to do there at the house. Because you can do it. You can do it. You can make memorable memories for you and your lover. But, and you need to teach, and it's okay to let the kids see you kiss and let the kids see you hug. And I like to dance. So sometimes if a song comes on, because we usually have music in the house, I'll say, "Let's dance." And we just dance. It's romantic. It's sweet. My husband doesn't think to do that, but that's okay. If what he doesn't want to do, I'll do it. I love to do that. So again, bring that energy back into your life. You don't have to do a lot to make it last. I remember before cell phones, and because we were younger, in our 30s, going to a restaurant, and we would see an older couple, probably our age that they were, I don't know, maybe in their 60s. And I remember seeing this quite often. And the couple, my husband and I, we like to sit in a booth and we sit next to each other. We don't like to sit across from each other. We usually sit next to each other. But anyway, and there was a couple, and this happened again a couple of times. And the people were not talking. This is before cell phones. And they're just sitting there. And usually one of them would have a book and be reading a book while they were waiting for their meal. I like to read, but I'm not reading if I'm going to go spend some money on some food. I'm going to enjoy my drinks, I'm going to enjoy my food, and enjoy, most importantly, my husband. So these are just a few things I just want to share with you. And I just want you to know, if you did just newly get married, just remember, these are the important things. I mean, I'm not saying that if you don't have a date night, oh, your marriage is ruined. No, that's not it. That is not it. I don't know if anyone's heard about the 3-3-3 rule. And it's about you and your partner, and you get 3 hours a week of uninterrupted alone time. So if it's putting your kids in front of the TV for 30 minutes to an hour just to get that 3-3-3, let me tell you, it's going to be worth it for you, because you deserve to enjoy each other, because life is short. I mean, we've been married 41 years, but we've known each other for about 44 years. So it is just so important for you to know that date nights are important, and don't forget the 3-3-3 rule. 3 hours a week of uninterrupted time alone. Now, the other thing is, we're so busy, you may have to, with kids and kids being involved in things, you may have to make a schedule just for you and your spouse. But trust me, it will be so worth it. So I guess that's where I wanted to share with you today about date nights and how important it is for you and your significant other. And if you don't have a significant other, just keep notes or remember this podcast, because when they come into your life, you're going to be going, I remember, wait, 3-3-3. I need 3 hours of uninterrupted time. Now, I do have a story. No, that's going to end that podcast. But anyway, but I do have a story about cell phones. Our lifeline that we can't live without. Some people take them to the bathroom. There's just something. I cannot take my phone. If I have my phone in the bathroom, it's in my pocket or in my purse. I am not reading text in the bathroom. Although if they pop up on my watch, I might read them. But that's just nasty. But anyway, that's just me too. Hold on one sec. Don't leave. I want to share this story. That AccuWeather. There was a young teen in Alabama, and she was struck by lightning while scrolling on her phone. And she says, "I am lucky to be alive." She said she felt a jolt through her arm and was told she is lucky. The shock didn't reach her heart. Okay, I'm just telling you. We were without power a couple weeks ago for 3 hours, and we were fine. But not that because the weather, it was just crazy. I don't know why I just told you that. But anyway, the 19-year-old woman is recovering and after being struck by lightning while using her phone during a storm. She said she was scrolling and her phone was plugged in. And that's when it happened. I heard this lightning strike, and then I heard a loud pop, and all I heard was ringing in my ears. She said she felt this. She said it felt like a fork in a light socket. I don't know if she did that as a child and knew what that felt like or what. But after that, I couldn't comprehend things, and I just started crying for 5 minutes. So I don't know if she was alone or what. Did she call 911? But cell phones are as safe as long as they're not plugged into the wall during a storm. But do you really need to be on the phone while there's a really bad storm? I don't think so. Especially in Texas right now. We've had horrible storm. Well, as you all know, the people of Kerrville, so please keep them in your prayers. But we've just had rain. Texas doesn't have rain in the summer. We have had rain probably on a weekly basis, and it's just different for us. We're not used to rain in the summer. But anyway, I want to thank everyone for listening. And don't forget to listen, if you have a chance, to the podcast, Body Balance Nutrition last week. It was really good. And thank you for listening. And I hope that you have a date night soon and you can thank me later. But anyway, this is Henrie. Please go find your blessings. Your blessings are right in front of you. And may God bless you in your relationship. Enjoy one another because life is short. Have a good one and see you next week. Thanks for listening.